what's up people? Welcome back to the channel. It's been a couple of weeks since I last posted, but I'll be getting back to business as always. Hope everybody's been well over this past couple of weeks. There's been a lot that has happened since the last time I posted. I mean, it's been the Super League, United's winning streak has come to an end, and we're slowly heading towards the end of the season. And today I just want to have a bit of a chat about Manchester United and how they can close the gap on Manchester City and maybe even compete for the league, win the league. The stuff I'm going to be speaking about today, it's definitely not going to get them to a place where they can consistently win the league. In order for Manchester United to do that, the structure of the club is going to have to change, and not actually what's going on the football pitch. But I'll get into that. But before we go on, people, don't forget to like the video, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, share this video on your social media, and yeah, I hope you enjoy the content, and comment down below what you think. But anyway, let's get into the video. So in order for United to close the gap on City, it's quite simple, and it's quite simple really. It's honestly quite simple, on paper at least. But there's so many politics regarding this club, the fan base, it's split. The only thing that the fan base is united on is the Glazers out. I mean, it's the only thing that we are united on. The board, they really don't understand football. They don't understand what goes on the pitch. They only understand what gets likes on social media, what topics get trending on social media, like superstar players. The board thinks that's a good thing, and obviously that brings him in money. Obviously that leads to shirt sales and all of this jazz, but that's not what Manchester United need to win the league. So why I said simple is because the right wing position, the centre back position, and the CDM position, those are three positions that need to be filled in order for Manchester United to, I wouldn't say easily, but to close the gap on Manchester City, to close the gap on Chelsea, to close the gap on Liverpool. Because if from just before I go on, from my point of view, next season's not going to be like this season. Liverpool, you can't say they're dead in the water. I think next season they're gonna be in the Europa League, probably, maybe. It doesn't matter. They're gonna find, you have to think that they're gonna find their form again. Chelsea, they're gonna spend money this summer. It's gonna be Tuchel's first full season. I mean, he's doing a brilliant job there. They're gonna push on. Manchester City is Manchester City. They just won the league, they're champions. Nobody really cares. Did you see the scenes? I mean, there was like no fans there for the celebration. Honestly, I could count on my two fingers how many fans were there outside the stadium to celebrate them winning the league. And that just shows that they're a big club on paper. Their players, their supporters are not so big. The board, the amount of money they spend, everything is big except for their support, the fan base. And I'm sure in Manchester they have a big following, and this is actually another topic for another video. But over time, Manchester City is going to grow to have a huge fan base. I mean, with what they're doing, winning the leagues, they won 5 leagues now. The children, the new fans coming through, they're going to look at Manchester City, and obviously it's going to be very attractive for fans not only in Manchester but fans around the world. And but it's gonna Manchester United still gonna have a say, but I think a lot of the new fans is gonna be leading towards Manchester City, um, and that's just the way it's gonna go unless Manchester United pulls their socks up. But like I was saying, the three positions that needs to be filled just to get back onto track. But before that can even happen, Manchester United need to sort out the players that they have at the club at the moment. Cavani has signed a new deal. It's very Glazer. They like to keep players. They kept Phil Jones. They kept Juan Mata. But Cavani is a good one to keep. I mean, he's been inspirational on the pitch. I'm 100% sure he's inspirational off the pitch. Mason Greenwood is benefiting from his experience, and Cavani's just proving that he's probably, you can clip me on this, he's probably one of the best strikers to have ever played the game. Not number one, but top 20. Cavani's easily top 20, even maybe top 15 best strikers to ever play the game. And so he's a great player to have, and he's old and he's had injury problems, and like I said, it's a very Glazer thing to do. But I think all the fans can agree that he's a good one to keep around. And also, obviously, if those three positions that I spoke about wasn't the issue, obviously I would say go for somebody, go for the Kane or go for the Haaland. But with the current team and how unbalanced it is, I just think keeping Cavani and letting Greenwood learn from him and learn his trade to become the best player that he can be. And I promise you, Greenwood's going to become one hell of a player if he puts his head down and just pushes on like Rashford has. I don't see a problem in the striker position. And the other big player that needs to stay, I'm not sure if Bruno signed yet, but we need to get Bruno to sign the new contract. I mean, we can't let his contract run down like Paul Pogba's contract is running down. I mean, Paul Pogba needs to sign a new contract. I can't stress this enough. We need him so badly. When him and Bruno is on the field, it is chalk and cheese. I mean, just go watch a match in the beginning of the season and go watch a match probably the last month and a half when Pogba has been playing on that left wing. It has made the biggest difference in the world. And if we do not get Sancho, I honestly think, like I've said in my previous videos, we should be putting, especially against the low block teams, not every single game, but especially against the teams that play the low block, we should be putting Van de Beek out on the right. I mean, the three of them intertwining, pulling defenses apart. I mean, it will work wonders. But obviously, like I'm saying, we need to keep these players that we need to keep. It is immense. With regards to the goalkeeper position, I don't know. I'm a De Gea guy, but there's obviously issues with De Gea. I think he's really picked up form this season. I think he's had a good season, and people is holding the fact that he hasn't had a good season last season over his head. Like, they're holding it over his head. And obviously Henderson is also now there, and Ollie seems to prefer Henderson. And the thing about Henderson is he's a good sweeper, and because we have a slow defense, or at least two slow centre backs, a keeper like Henderson looks better because he's quickly off his line. He's always there in the strikers' faces. But if we get a centre back pairing for Maguire, that won't be the case anymore. And I think De Gea edges Henderson. The only thing is, Henderson has two attributes from my point of view, that really plays in his favour, and there's nobody that can really argue with it. He's quick off his line, and he's very vocal, more vocal than De Gea, and obviously the defense likes the fact that he's quick off his line and he's more vocal. There might be other attributes, but for me, I think that's the two main ones. And then obviously, let's talk about, well, the right wing. Let's first talk about the right wing. Obviously, we're in for Sancho. We were in for Sancho last season, and now we're in for Sancho again. Um, and to be honest, Ahmed, we bought Ahmed in. We paid 30 million for Ahmed, and I think, well, he's still young, but I think he should have gotten way more opportunity than he has. He had like what, 2 games a season? That's pathetic. I mean, you don't have to start him, but all he needs to all he needs to know how to make changes during a game. And I think Ahmed is one of those players where even if we're struggling in a game, bring him on. He showed that he has skill. Yeah, he's capable, and you don't have to make wholesale changes. You don't have to make many changes, but give Ahmed more game. Give him half an hour. I honestly think if we had to do that, we wouldn't be in back for Sancho, because now Ahmed's just. It's almost like he's in a waste away, and it's sad to see because he's a young guy and he's done well every time he's played. And I just think he needs to get more and more game, and eventually he'll hit that player that we were hoping that we signed. But now we're going for Sancho, and everyone's saying that the deal is very close. But what happens to Armin now? We spent all that money on him, and yeah, I'm gonna have a bit of a conversation about that, because honestly, that's on the board. That's not on Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, because obviously, like, put yourself in Ole's shoes for a second. Now you're not getting Now you're not getting Sancho. Obviously, you want that right wing position to be filled, and they're giving you. I can't remember what that other guy's name was. We sent him out on loan, and Ahmed, and obviously he's gonna say yes because they might be young, but they're bringing in the right wingers. I mean, any manager who wanted the right wing, and now he's not going to get his first priority signing, as always, at Manchester United. He's going to say yes to Ahmed. He's going to say yes to anybody, basically. And it's just an issue at board level. But bringing Sancho this season, Ahmed should have gotten more to see if he can develop into that player where we don't have to look at Sancho. But obviously that didn't happen, and now Sancho is back on the cards. And Chelsea is also interested in Sancho, so we might not get Sancho, because who can compete with Chelsea, honestly, when it comes to transfers? They are brilliant. They are brilliant at getting deals done. Last season, they got all the players they wanted. I mean, Frank had all the players he wanted. And Chelsea's board is just brilliant at getting deals done. But anyway, so obviously Sancho coming in, there's big talks about him. I mean, his price has gone down. Dortmund should have taken the deal last season, but anyway, they thought they had one up on us, but actually, when push comes to shove and you just look at what has happened, obviously, I don't think it's worked out the way they wanted to work out, and we need to get rid of the deadwood. But before I get onto that, let's just talk about the centre defensive mid position. For me, the reason I'm speaking about it last is because it is the number one priority position that needs to be filled. Not right wing, not striker, like we have been going for strikers. Centre back, it's debatable. Obviously, we're looking at Varane, we're looking at Torres, and obviously there's you see at centre back we have Twan Zaibi, who should be playing next to Maguire, but let's just not get into that. I mean, he's the same age as Rashford. I'm I'm sure he can make that step up, but Lindelof has been played the whole time. But regardless of that, regardless of Lindelof playing the whole time, the central defensive midfielder position is the most important position to be filled because McFred every week. Do you guys want to see McFred every week next season? No, I don't think anybody wants to see that. I don't even know if Oni himself wants to see that, but he has to play that because he doesn't really have another option. And if he doesn't do that, our defense is slow. I mean, McFred protects the defense, but we don't have that one player that can protect that defense. And I just think that if we get a CDM, it will gain us. Even fill in that one position, because this video is obviously what Manchester United needs to do to fill the league. And what I'm trying to say is we need to fix the team, and the number one position we need to fill in order to head in the right direction. It's definitely that CDM position. And for me, it's either you're gonna go get Rice or you're gonna get Basuma. These other players, obviously, I haven't done my research into other leagues, but I know there's players in other leagues. I mean, anybody will do, and it's just a position that really needs to be filled. I honestly think that we need to get that position filled, and then we can move Pogba or Van der Beek into the centre of mid where they play. Rashford, obviously, he will play out on the right. If we do get Sancho, we'll have a creative winger. I mean, Rashford will play on the left. If we do get Sancho, we have a creative winger out on the right. Or we can play Van der Beek out on the right, you know. Then it will be like this season where Van der Beek and Bruno, they can obviously, they're both creative players. They can do exactly what Pogba and Bruno is doing this season. But Pogba will be playing deep. And obviously, if he's playing against a decent CDM, somebody who understands the role, Pogba can advance a bit and United will be an even better team. And that is just, I just think that CDM position is the most important position to fill. Obviously, there's a chance of us getting Varane, and I mean, why won't you take him? That vast experience. He's a World Cup winner. He's a 3-time UEFA Champions League winner. And why won't you take that experience? I've spoken about him before, and I just think if that's a possibility, we should get him, but we need to get the CDM. And right wing is not, our attack isn't the problem. Our attack really isn't the problem. It's really our defense. Our defense and our midfield, it really needs to improve. Tuanzebe, you see Tuanzebe is a possibility for the centre back, but there is no possibilities for the CDM, and I just can't stress this enough. But anyway, the other thing what I want to speak about is our board needs people who understand football. Understand there's a banking, a financial side, but there's also a football side, and all they have wasted billions. I think they spent like $1 billion. Okay, let's say they've wasted millions and millions of pounds at the club over these years, and that money can be used to fix the team. I mean, the way they look at it is, I'm going to explain it to you, and it's quite simple the way that they look at it. They look at it on a spreadsheet. If they go get a CDM, the chances of people buying that jerseys is very low. But if they go get Sancho, the chances of people buying Sancho's jerseys, that's super high, because Sancho's a superstar and he's English, and he's like, he will get like a lot of attraction, and they think that will make the fans happy. But what they don't have the vision, and what they don't see is if they fix the team, and yes, in the beginning, like, maybe it won't bring as much money in, like just going to get the CDM, as much as it is to go get Sancho. But in the long run, the team will be fixed. They need to get rid of the deadwood. They just need football people. They need football people. If you look at City, City is the best example of how a club needs to be run. City never spend more than 50 million. They spend maybe a bit more, but they never spend more than 50 million. They only concentrate on what the team needs, and if the team doesn't need that, they sell that player. Which means that player, they're not paying wages to that player anymore. I mean, City and Manchester United have spent basically the same or similar amount of money since Sir Alex has left. But Manchester City have won. Okay, since Sir Alex has left, I'm not actually exactly sure. But in the past decade, yeah, I think Sir Alex left. Yeah, so in the past decade, Manchester City have won like 5 Premier League trophies, and they've spent similar amounts of money to what Manchester United has spent. However, Manchester United has spent that on sacking managers. Players like Phil Jones, players like Alexis Sanchez, players like Falcao. I can go on for days. Like, they waste so much money. And if somebody just comes in and takes the money that they have to spend and spend it wisely, they will be spending the same amount of money as they always have been spending, but the team on the field will be so much better. The team on the field will be fixed, even if it's not the best players. Manchester City don't always go for the best players. Sometimes they just go for what the team needs, and they end up winning trophies, and by winning trophies they get paid money for winning those trophies. I mean, I don't think Manchester United have to do much more in terms of spending money. They just have to do a lot more in how they spend their money, and that is how they are going to win the league for a long period. For the short period, they just have to fill the two positions, well, the one position, which is the CDM, and then obviously the centre back position next to Maguire, that needs to be filled. And the right wing, it's not a priority for me. I mean, there is players that can play there. We can play Van der Beek there. We can play Ahmed there. Ahmed's young, obviously you don't want to burn him out. Greenwood, he's been playing there, he's been brilliant there. But the two positions, and that will definitely get us challenging Manchester City, challenging, I don't know who's going to be the next season. Liverpool might be there, Chelsea might be there. But if we don't fix the team, it's not going to happen. But anyway, guys, let me know what you think. I've stressed a couple of points. I know I've gone off topic because I'm passionate about the team, and I'm passionate about what needs to happen. I mean, it doesn't take a scientist or anybody to be able to see what the team needs. But obviously, these owners, this board, they don't get it. And Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, I don't know what position he's in. Do they just shut him down the whole time? But he really wants a striker. They said if not this transfer window, obviously Cavani's here, so obviously not this transfer window, but next transfer window they're definitely gonna be looking at a striker. So yeah, that's just what I have to say about the topic. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I hope you guys like, share, subscribe this video, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace out.